Hang in there. It is.
Smylie Kaufman for 61. Wow.
I'm Smylie Kaufman, and this is The Smylie Show.
Moving day at Oakmont, very wet, muddy Oakmont, officially in the book. Smylie, he's Smylie Kaufman. I'm Charlie Hulme. We're back on the range at Oakmont after a one-day hiatus. We were inside the media center. Smylie, only four players under par here at the 125th U.S. Open, heading into Sunday. And it's very appropriate how you've arrived here at the show because it is Father's Day weekend.
That's right.
And you brought the squirrel man, Jeff Kaufman, to the show. He's watching over here in the background.
We'll do a cameo at the end.
We'll have to do a cameo at the end. And I think it's very appropriate that his nickname is a squirrel man. He's at a place where the squirrel is a central figure out here at Oakmont.
But with no squirrels. There's no trees. Where are the squirrels?
Right there.
Yeah, there you go.
That's your guy right there. Also, he's wearing rain pants, and I made the suggestion to convert into rain shorts. Let me tell you, Jackson, I had a great brand awareness day for rain shorts. Fresh out of the car in the media lot, we were doing some shoots. We had an elderly gentleman come by, and he was asking what the deal was, and we're telling him, hey, just go home, take a pair of rain pants you're not using anymore, cut those things off, take them to seamstress, 7-inch inseams, good as new. They're perfect out there today.
Well, definitely you needed, it didn't rain, but for 10 minutes. So you didn't necessarily need any type of rain pants today. But if you happen to wear them like my father did, couldn't have been a worse day to wear rain pants, mainly because of how swampy it was. Not a good day for that. So rain shorts definitely were the play, or really just don't even wear anything rain apparel at all.
There was enough rain to make them justifiable, but then it stopped and it got hot very quickly. A lot of rain shorts content on the horizon, by the way. You can look forward to that. How about a guy in your group who didn't put rain gear on all day long, and that feels like it was the play, Adam Scott. We want to get to Adam. Here's what we're going to do again, Smylie, is we're going to look at the top of that board. We're going to use our friends at DraftKings Sportsbook to help us, really help you guess the odds. What that board, because it is a very interesting board. So this week only, new customers can bet just $5 and win $300 in bonus bets if your bet hits. Smylie, let's just do the same thing as yesterday. Who do you think the top five are in terms of outright odds to win this tournament?
Okay, let's start with Sam Burns at the top. He was leading yesterday. I think, what was he, plus 350? I'm going to say he's ticked down to, let's go with plus 275.
Plus 170.
Wow, okay. Love it.
Really like Sam Burns with that one-shot lead. Who do you think's second on that board?
I'm going to go with JJ Spaun.
It's very close.
Adam Scott?
JJ and Adam both, of course, are at 3 under, shot off the lead. The odds makers at DraftKings like Adam Scott at plus 320 and JJ at plus 330.
Yeah, it felt so easy to like both. You know, JJ's been rock solid, playing good U.S. Open style golf, and Adam Scott driving the crap out of the golf ball right now. But iron game, let's see how it holds up tomorrow.
And then who do you have as the next two?
Victor.
The top five?
Victor would be the next.
Okay.
And he's probably not too far behind that plus 330 number. I know he's 3 back, but probably somewhere in that 4 to 5-1 range, like 5 to 1.
Plus 6.5 to 1, plus 650.
Pretty good value there.
Yeah, and then a little bit of space. Those are your only kind of single-digit fractional odds.
Honestly, I got to even look at the board to see who's after that. You might as well tell me while I'm looking it up.
It is the man who posted the low round of the day.
Oh, Ortiz?
Carlos Ortiz, who is now going off at 20 to 1. He is solo fifth. So let's run it back. Let's talk about the group you walked with today for NBC. You had Adam Scott, and you had Viktor Hovland. And Adam, a couple of good stats from the Elias Sports Bureau. The one that we had yesterday that I couldn't quite nail down, Adam Scott is appearing in his 96th consecutive major, starting with the 2001 Open Championship. The only player with more consecutive major championship appearances was Jack Nicklaus with 146 in a row between 1962 and 98, and Tom Watson with 87, third on that list between 74 and 96. Adam Smylie, also via Elias, would be the second oldest player in history to win the U.S. Open at 44 years and 334 days. Hale Irwin, of course, the oldest, winning at 45 years old at Medina in 1990. So you're out there today with Adam, turning back the clock a little bit, made a big putt on 17. What were the highlights? I mean, he had a great, let's see, on the par 3 13th, flushed it, had a great wedge on 14. What was it like out there following Adam today?
Yeah, Adam, 96. I mean, I guess this would be his 97th week playing a major in a row, and just so much experience. And his game is just from the distance he hits it off the tee. My goodness, It's just above tour average. When I looked at it this year, really hasn't had the best season. When you go look at the results, he's actually only had, I think, one top 20 this season. That was actually at the PGA Championship. He's just inside the top 100 in the FedEx Cup. So I think heading into this week, very few people probably believe themselves, probably more than Adam Scott. I think he saw trends that were heading in the right way, where other people, if you'd looked at all the stats and all the data, it would have said that Adam Scott probably wasn't going to contend here. But he's proven with his distance still being enough to be able to keep up, and not only keep up, he had 187 ball speed like we talked about on the 18th hole. It was really fun to watch him, and I talked to Trevor Immelman, who of course is over at CBS, and he's been working with Adam Scott for quite some time now. And I asked Trevor, before the round, I said, hey Trevor, I noticed that the iron game hasn't been quite there. It's been something he's been working on. What exactly did y'all do coming into this week? And he said that Adam put some stiffer shafts in his irons, and they're trying to bleed a little fade into the game a little bit. He kind of hits a tight, lower draw off the tee with his driver. But, I even think about the shot on the 18th hole from the middle of the fairway. He's got a left pin, hits it 60 feet out to the right. I just don't think there's a whole lot of trust in his iron game right now. And that's, going to be the big X factor for him tomorrow, is how well he can control his irons, because it was definitely hit or miss at times. And I think he was bailed out missing his iron shots in bunkers, and his bunker game was phenomenal to where he gave himself zero stress after bunker shots. He had tap-ins at the 6th hole that was dirty, 8th hole tap-in, and then over at the 15th hole, which I thought was maybe one of the best shots I saw all day, was a 45, 50-yard bunker shot, which if it was me, you, or Jax, or my dad hitting it, the ball would still be in the air. That's how hard the shot was, and he hit it to a tap-in on a hole location that was pitched up on top of a knob, and then past it, everything rolled away. So it was, I don't think people understand how good that shot was. So he does that at 15, and then the finish, he striped one at 16, 17, actually hit too good of a bunker shot, and then makes that putt you were talking about, and then a good 2-putt at 18, and all of a sudden he's in the final group.
I do think you have to imagine that of neutrals, he will be the most nostalgic, the sort of the favorite that, I remember when we had him on the show a few years back. I mean, this is a guy who was your favorite player growing up.
Yeah.
And for me, it's been cool to text my granddad today, of course.
He asked you about you on the first tee today, by the way.
That's huge for me.
That's big for Charlie.
Huge for me.
Said, I was Charlie. I was like, he's here this week just bebopping around. We started talking Walker Cup. He said, I was just mentioning that you were going to be out there, most likely seeing your granddad. Your family's going to be out there at Cypress, and we briefly talked about that right before he went off today.
That's
the good vibes,
It's such good vibes. And the last time I saw him, he was giving my son a small frog figurine for Boston Common that he immediately regretted because he was like, I'm sorry, that might be a choking hazard. But one of the greatest human beings I think that everyone really loves and enjoys in and around the game of golf. Beautiful swing that we all love watching, but just has that one major win. Smylie, if Adam wins tomorrow to add a second major to his resume, I mean, that starts changing the conversation about where he stands in the history of the game of golf, right?
Well, he said it after the round yesterday. He's had a great career and one that he would be very proud of, but he thinks a win this week, of course, everybody knows it. It would definitely amplify his results and of his career when you look at it in a full picture of what he's done in the game of golf. So I would love to see a U.S. Open win added to his resume. And there's actually plenty of storylines that I love tomorrow. I mean, Adam Scott winning, Sam Burns winning his first major, Viktor winning his first major, and the one cool nugget that Mike Tirico signed off on the air with tonight with NBC was just saying that of the top 20 guys on the leaderboard, not one of those players have won a U.S. Open. So he said, this trophy right here beside me, one of those guys in the top 20, none of them have won a U.S. Open. So plenty compelling storylines.
And quickly on Viktor, do you think he's where he needs to be right now? You talked yesterday about he's playing golf instead of golf swing. We should go. I don't know if the camera can catch him here. He's at the end of the range. Maybe we'll give him a pop by and grab a mic. But, I mean, Vic does – Vic does, that first shot of the day, you're thinking, is this going to be an adventure day? Makes back-to-back birdies at 9 and 10. Hits an incredible second shot from the rough on 17, converts for a birdie there. And then the big miss off the tee right on 18 leads to a bogey. And it just felt like it was one of those days where he's done well to be there in red figures alongside only 3 other guys, but
Sure.
How much more could it have been for Viktor?
Well, that was a half hi-ya on the first hole. I had a good view of it. Definitely a little bit off the heel. Just was a bit of a nervous swing. I mean, it was a hard tee shot. If you go stand back on that first tee, you wouldn't believe how difficult it is. And he definitely caught it a little bit on the heel, but right around that time, the wind from just that storm that was kind of brewing from out here really was pushing in some wind at that time where it was kind of cooling off. The visuals kind of became a little dark, and the wind was humming off the left. So when you have that tee on the first tee shot, it's such a bear, and of course didn't execute. But he really settled in right around the 5th hole. He was 2 over through his first 4, and then seriously from 5 all the way until the 10th hole. I mean, did not miss a beat, hit so many great iron shots, hit the pin at 9 with a 7-iron. I mean, come on, one bounce to hit the pin, and that finally he makes a putt at 9, makes an amazing putt down the hill at 10. And I'm trying to think the rest of the day, just a couple really, how could it have been better? Where could he have been, could he have gotten 3 or 4 shots? Well, I think of 2 wedge shots that come to mind. The second, it would have been the 12th hole. He laid up to about 77 yards, hit to like 40 feet. So that was a very poor shot and a chance for a birdie. And then 14, I think he totally hit a shot that he was worried about going long because his last wedge shot went 40 feet past, and then he ends up leaving it 40 feet short. So misjudged some wedge shots. And then other than that, it's just some misses out to the right. And I think he was so fortunate at 17 to get a good lie. Like when I was walking to his golf ball at 17, I was expecting to see the worst lie ever. And I get to it and I was like, what in the world am I looking at? And it was just, I could actually see the whole golf ball. It was in a good bit of rough, but it was one where he could definitely fly it, middle of the green and get it close. And he flies it even further. It gets it to stop and goes to 3 feet. And then at 18, of course, we see the right miss come out again. And if he can clean up that miss off the tee and just dial in just the wedges a little bit more, and then probably have his best putting day of the week, which at this point, I think the first 3 days, he's been pretty average. If he can, mesh all these things together, he's the best iron player that's left right now. And that's a scary proposition for the guys that he's chasing down because they know that this guy can knock down some flag 6.
And if you look at that, I've been just kind of sorting on data golf by stat category, and that strokes gain approach is the one that seems to most closely correlate with performance on a day. So to that point on iron play, if he's hitting him good tomorrow, look out, could be his first major. I feel it's very appropriate to have an LSU Tiger who is just streaming an LSU baseball game, try to go watch a College World Series, talk about the LSU Tiger who's currently leading the tournament, Sam Burns. And by the way, I believe he came early today to see another LSU Tiger who went off for, is that Philip Barbary who you're walking with? So a lot of Bayou Bengals around here, a lot of purple and gold love.
Shouts to Phil Barbary, played golf at LSU. Best friends with Sam Burns growing up into the Shreveport area, won the U.S. Junior, and a tremendous guy, great kid, and a really big week. When you make the cut at the U.S. Open, for a player that doesn't have status, you skip first stage, so he goes all the way to second stage, which is important for a player that's trying to make their way out on the PGA Tour. And then, he went first off, so see Sam before he got warmed up. They have a chat, and of course, congratulations to Philip making the cut before Sam started his warm-up. And I think Sam, man, like I obviously heard a lot in my ear, didn't get to watch a ton, but from what it looked like, it seemed that Sam Burns had a tremendous day with the irons.
He flushed it. He gained almost 3.5 strokes gain approach. And it was sort of, as you could tell by the score, sort of an up and down day, not maybe converting as many chances as he would like to, but on 17 he hit that. I don't even know what the name of the wedge is. What's the sort of the tabletop skidder, like the one that Colin hit?
That was the low skipper. I mean, just
hit.
Sick.
Just slid it up there to tap-in range, makes birdie on 17, and then of course with the right miss off the tee at 18 as well, but hits it well past the flag, and they try to hit him with the announcer jinx. One of only 2 guys the whole week that hasn't 3-putted alongside Ryan Fox, and he converts that 2-putt in big fashion to be the leader heading into Sunday.
Yeah, that's going to be the formula for Sam. That's a really, really good iron day for Sam. That's been, I think, his biggest weakness over the last couple years is his iron game. He's had a lot of misses out short to the right. So for Sam to go out and have a day like that gives him a ton of confidence. But I think tomorrow, and we haven't even gotten to JJ yet, but I'll say that there's going to be some players that catch a good break and players that don't. I think Oakmont's going to reward. It's also going to punish. And you expect, for the most part, for it to be punishing, but I think there's going to be some element of luck involved into who eventually wins this golf tournament.
Well, let's maybe get your quick thoughts on JJ here before we wrap and kind of flip it to tomorrow. But I mean, JJ, was a guy that could have been the co-leader at 4 under to finish the round. 3rd in strokes gained putting today, so kind of following up on a formula that it worked on Thursday.
Looking at the stats, it looked very similar to maybe his Thursday round.
Yeah, gained. I think Thursday was close to 4 strokes gained putting. Today was around 2.5, but still, putted it really well. And then the same boat is Sam Burns and Viktor Hovland. That right miss off the tee on 18 results in a bogey, drops a shot, and he'll be in the second to last group alongside Viktor Hovland. So, your thoughts on JJ? I mean, he's been steady all week long.
I told you that guy's not going anywhere. There was going to be a player that was going to be a really solid ball striker that was going to be hanging around in this. And JJ Spaun, of course, he's had a breakout season this year, but nobody was talking about him coming into the week. I think if you would have looked at his profile, you would have said, yeah, I could see JJ having a week. But there were so many other players that we talked about over a guy like JJ. So to see him have not only just a good 54 holes to start his week, but just to continue to put that belief bucket up to where he's a really good round away from being, playing at the Ryder Cup at Bethpage. That's how close it is for a lot of these players tomorrow.
Well, you can download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use the code Smylie Show to bet on any of the contenders in that final group. Smylie pretty close on those odds guessing as well. That's code SMYLIESHOW for new customers to score $300 in bonus bets when you win your $5 bet. Only on DraftKings. The crown is yours.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPENY or text HOPENY at 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort in Kansas, 21 and over. Age and eligibility varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. Bet must win to receive reward. Minimum minus 500 odds required. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see dkng.co/audio.
Smylie, 2 other names that, Scottie not necessarily out of contention. I think Rory we can pretty firmly say is out of contention. But wanted to play for you some video and some sound as we watch Viktor down here.
It's
still grinding.
I think we should get just another cam over there just watching Viktor.
We need to get a big cam
He's
going.
ripping drivers, and that's what he needs to be doing right now. He needs to sort through just what that right miss is, because he needs to picture the hole, the shots that feel uncomfortable, and wind directions that he might have, and start picking out targets tonight to where you go to bed not even worrying about specific shots tomorrow.
It sounds like a good formula to me. Maybe easier said than done once you're standing on the tee in the second to last group.
Yeah, you can see Grant Wade trying to help with just a general feel that he can maybe kind of work on swing to swing to see if he can get it more in the middle and not having that left to right curve.
Yesterday, we saw Scottie Scheffler out here. Pretty animated. After his round today, he shot even par 70 today, remains at 4 over. I believe that's tied for 14th or 12th last time I checked. But a full 8 shots off of Sam Burns' lead.
So what if I said something here? Can I put this into the air?
Please.
What did Johnny Miller shoot on Sunday here at Oakmont?
63.
What do you think?
63 would be a 7 under round. That would get him to 3 under. And that is something I'm going to ask you on the way out, because Data Golf has some projected winning scores, and if he does go out and shoot 63, he is right in the mix, right in the realm of what that winning score
just
could
saying be. I'm gonna put it out in the atmosphere.
Well, let me play this sound for you. He was asked about this today, and just maybe we can get into this in full depth on our recap show, but just Scottie's week in general, reflecting on where he is after 3 rounds.
in terms of a practice session after the round, that was pretty regular. I mean, we're just trying to figure stuff out there, and to be honest with you, yesterday we left the range. I felt like I didn't figure anything out. Just one of those days where just the swing wasn't there, and it's been 3 days of battling out there. Usually over the course of 72 holes, you have a couple days where your swing feels pretty good, a couple days where maybe it's off, and weeks where you win, it's maybe you have 3 or 4 days of good ball striking and holding some putts, and a week like this week, I've had 3 days where I haven't really had my swing, and I've been battling, like I said, out there, and still have a chance, albeit an outside chance, but still a chance.
So battling a swing all 3 days, has an outside chance. I mean, you just said it. If he gets a 63 tomorrow, he's right in the mix. But it sounds from where he feels like he is swing wise, he's got a lot to work on.
Yeah, I think Cara said it also. Cara Banks on our show earlier today. I think she said that Scottie in our interview on air said, that was just like a normal Friday. That's what Randy said. So, these guys are competitive. They want the best feels, the best information that they could possibly have to go out to play good golf. And Scottie is typically so good at making adjustments. And this week, actually hit it well. Just had some short misses today. The putter wasn't as good, so he had an opportunity really to get it to around even par today, and just kind of fell short. So he's got way too much work to probably make up tomorrow to even have a chance to win this thing. But 63 could do it, and the course is soft enough to where, hey, if he just gets crazy with the irons and he drives it good, everybody in that top 20 is going to be feeling the heat to try to win tomorrow, especially those guys at the top of the leaderboard all under par.
Well, and what you're describing is that A+ Scottie that we just frankly haven't seen this week. And I think this goes back to where we started with the preview of, can C+ Scottie stay in the mix this week at Oakmont given this challenge? And I think the answer is, given what we've seen through 3 rounds, is no. And
it's Oakmont.
It's Oakmont. You don't have your swing.
If this would have maybe been another venue, it could have been different. You know. And that's why I think Oakmont is so good, is that the guys that are on the top of the leaderboard have separated themselves not only with their game and just their mind and be able to hit all the different shots that this place requires. And I truly believe the guys at the top of the board, Oakmont has separated who's playing the best. And if we are not or if you wanted a better storylines with the top guys playing well and Bryson and Scottie and all these guys be at the top of the leaderboard, and that's the reason you're not quite into tomorrow, well, you're just not into the U.S. Open then, because this venue has identified who is playing the best, and those 4 guys, and you could throw some other guys right behind them. They've answered most of the tests this week, and they got one big one to answer tomorrow.
Yeah, I wholeheartedly agree. I mean, these guys have persevered through a lot of moments where they really could have said, all right, I'm out. One guy who sounded like he might have been on the outs, maybe preferred to not have played both today and tomorrow.
He might just text you to see if you want to play for him tomorrow.
I would be happy to go out there as Rory McIlroy. This was interesting here because it's both reflecting on the week in general, and this is something we're going to have to unpack at large, on another show. But let's just listen to these quotes from Rory today, both on the topic of play on Saturday and also just where he's at with the media.
It's much easier being on the cut line when you don't really care if you're here for the weekend or not. I was sort of thinking, do I really want 2 more days here or not? So it makes it easier to play better when you're in that mindset.
Yesterday was 6 majors in a row, rounds kind of stepped away. Has that been part and parcel to the frustration on the golf course? What do you attribute?
No, not really. It's more a frustration with you guys. But I'm not saying maybe not you guys, but maybe more just the whole thing.
You kind of carried the tour awards for 3 or 4 years now. You feel like you've earned a break?
I feel like I've earned the right to do whatever I want to do, yeah.
That's strong. And it does connect back to some of the conversations we've had with Rory on how much leeway has he earned from all the water carrying he had to do during the initial PIF situation. But being tired of just the whole thing, to use this sort of expression there. It's interesting, isn't it?
Well, it is, and we probably need more time to really go into full depth of all the things of, bringing back what you just talked about of, how he spoke to the media and carried the weight for a very long time. But it's just been interesting really since the Masters, right? It's just been, whether it's the golf swing, not being quite there mentally and physically with the game, and then just like randomly stops talking to the media. And then just, of course, also just the stories about, the driver that failed testing and how that was leaked and how that clearly bothered him. So
we have the Smylie cough hiatus here. Well, and I will say, to fill in for you while you get a drink of water here, is that was one of the questions answered that I did not include in that clip, was just that frustration wasn't entirely due to the whole driver situation, but that was a large part of it. And effectively what Rory said was, I choose to not talk to the media all the time. I'm just doing it more frequently now, and that does feel like a little bit of a punishment for the media for the way the driver stuff leaked.
It definitely that seems to be one of the main things. There may be some other things that we don't know about too that is clearly bothering Rory. He doesn't want to talk to the media. Today clearly was a day in which, okay, I'm going to go and do it. He's no doubt he's not talking to the media tomorrow. I think it was hey, at some point you're going to need to say something to the media before you go. And today he did it, and he didn't do it with a happy face.
Yes, yeah, that is a face of a man who is ready to, at 10 over for the week, is ready to get the heck out of Oakmont.
Do we want to talk to him though? Like after, if he's going to be in that type of mood, do we really want to talk to him?
I don't think so. I think it's fine if you wanted to skip. He chose to talk today. I feel like maybe some of that is because of the pressure he's faced to talk, but I'm in the same place I was with Colin. Guy's not playing good golf. He's not thrilled about it. Let's not make him talk if he doesn't want to.
We're just so used to hearing from him. I think that's been the standard we've kind of held him to, and he's given so much back to the game and speaking with the media over the years that if he needs time, I'm fine with it.
As am I. Here's where we're going to finish the show, Smylie, heading into Sunday at Oakmont. On Day to Golf, the current winning score, the three largest winning score probabilities. 3 under is 18.4%, 2 under is 18.8%, 1 under 15.1%. So they're predicting at the very least a shot lower than where Sam Burns currently stands at 4 under. What do you think the winning score is going to be, and do you have a pick for us?
Okay, so I want to look at the weather real quick for tomorrow.
Okay, please.
I think that could be a part of the storyline. So it says rain showers in the morning with scattered thunderstorms arriving in the afternoon.
Rain shorts weather.
High of 77, east-northeast 5 to 10 miles an hour. Chance of rain 50%. Okay.
Yeah, that's looking nasty right in there.
What time does that say?
That's 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. moderate rain.
Okay. Well, in that case, that's not scoring conditions. So I would probably lean towards 2-3 under. Yeah.
You like 2-3 under. Okay. And do you like? Do you want to pick a name, or you want to leave that unsaid?
Oh gosh. I'm gonna go with my LSU boy, Sam Burns.
Go with Sam Burns.
I think the putter is gonna be the reason why it happens. I think he's gonna be having some big putts he's gonna have to make, and I think he's gonna come up clutch making them. And the ball striking he just doesn't need one of those days where it gets off. So Sam will be my pick.
I'm gonna go Adam Scott's third even par round to 70 for the week, 3 under par, U.S. Open champion.
Okay, Jax, who are we going with?
Come on over here, Jax. And the Squirrel Man, you got to get up too. Squirrel Man's got to roll off of those rain pants. He'd be up at least 25% faster if he was wearing rain shorts. But hang on. Okay, we're backpedaling. He looks like an LSU safety, boys.
I'm going JJ Spaun.
Okay,
I'm on the train of somebody that nobody's really talking about. So
okay, Jack says JJ Spaun.
I gotta go with Vic back here. He's grinding. He's fine. He's finding it, and I think he's going to do it.
I think we need to get Squirrel Man a mic and just send him on a little correspondent mission over there to talk to Vic about.
Real well.
All right, so he's got Vic. You got Adam Scott. I got Sam Burns, and you got JJ Spaun.
We got all. We got a game.
Covered all bases.
So we got a game here.
So congrats to Carlos Ortiz on his first U.S. Open champion.
Congrats to Carlos Ortiz. I hope everyone enjoys their Father's Day tomorrow. Good to see Smiley's dad here. We're gonna get some FaceTime and happy early Father's Day. And yeah, we'll be right back here hanging out on the range tomorrow, recapping the winner of the 125th U.S. Open. We'll talk to you very soon.
I listen to this podcast. It's really cool. And
all of our lovely fans and subscribers, but make sure you like and subscribe.
It's cool to see what you guys are doing. I know golf fans appreciate it, but we do too, so please keep it up.
For all the good people at YouTube, like and subscribe.
You guys have some good takes, so I'm happy to come on and shoot the